Hello, everybody. It is me, Beau. Welcome to our live broadcast, our live show. We have a fantastic show for you this lovely Monday, August 15th, 2022. We are broadcasting live just outside of Seattle, Washington, here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of things to go through today. I got some goodies in the mail today, and I'm going to love to do a little unboxing for you guys. In case you're wondering what makes me and my channel different from other channels out there is I actually have live demonstrations of the products. Now, this is very unique because typically I get outside the building. So let's say, for example, this kitchen tool right here, because it is a kitchen tool. We're going to be covering this in just a moment. This is a pizza slicer. Now, typically, I am going to go out and get a pizza and show you how this is cut. But today I just have so many cool things that I got in this mail haul over the weekend. I actually want to just brain dump this all on you guys because there are a few people out there, you know that it cuts pizza, but the up close look, let's just talk about the intricacies and the nuances of this pizza slicer, for example. By the way, isn't that just the coolest thing ever? It's like something that a Viking would have. So if you are of Viking or Norwegian Finnish heritage, this is the way you're going to cut your pizza. But we're going to get to that in today's show. First of all, I want to say thank you to Tacticlip for sponsoring this live broadcast. If in fact you are up for these tactical multi-tool hair clips, you can go ahead and look at the promo code in the description down below. If in fact you were to click on the link in the carousel down below, only on this live broadcast, you will be able to access 25% off of these multi-tool hair clips. So these are essentially, I'm not going to say knives because they're not sharp. They're perfectly safe on the hair. They don't have a sharpened edge. However, they do have a raptor claw pointed tip. And so in a pinch, you can easily pierce through packing tape, for example, or the sawtooth shark tooth edge. You can use that to rub and saw up against a zip tie, for example, and easily get through it. So those are absolutely incredible. And if in fact you are an individual out there with blonde hair, yes, they do come in a blonde color. Let's go ahead and scroll over there and highlight that so you can see that in the carousel down below. And do remember that I am able to see everybody chatting with me this lovely day. So if in fact you're tuning in from around the world, please tell me where you're dropping in from. What's your favorite food, whether it's Italian or Mexican, or perhaps you like Mediterranean? That's sounding awfully good right now. But let's go ahead and jump into today's broadcast. First of all, we are going to be talking briefly about this fantastic little tripod. Now, I do a lot of professional videography all over the world, and sometimes I don't have the ability to pull my large camera out and capture something. And in the heat of the moment, oftentimes you just have your smartphone. And so I wanted to get a heavy duty little tripod. This thing is solid. If you are ever a fan of Manfrotto, you'll notice that these things are not these cheap overseas manufactured toys that are simply going to fall over with your expensive camera equipment. Now, with that being said, this is not a lightweight, minimalist, travel-friendly type tripod. Now, if you have like a large backpack, this is going to work. However, if you're trail running, for example, this is not going to work. That is where another tripod comes in. You'll see this square jellyfish right here. And this is much, much more lightweight. I call this the Italian tripod. You know how we're doing this? Well, if you go like this, it's the Italian tripod. My dad actually got this for me, and I have used this for so many things. I actually just filmed an unboxing yesterday of a Cuisinart barbecue, which that is going to be live shortly. And I just popped my phone right in there. You'll see that it's got this spring-loaded mechanism that opens up like so, and I can easily pop my iPhone 13 Pro right into there, and you can see that it's nice and stable. How cool is that? Yeah. All right. So another thing to keep in mind with the Manfrotto is it doesn't necessarily come with a default iPhone or smartphone holder. You're going to have to buy that separately. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what I got in the carousel down below. So this mount right here is, it's so innovative. It's no wonder that Manfrotto is the #1 industry leader when it comes to tripods. Now, this is much lighter than this, obviously. It's smaller, But when you still combine the two, it's still pretty heavy compared to the square jellyfish. However, this Manfrotto, if you have an expensive phone, go with this. Absolutely 100% go with this. You'll see that it also opens and closes using a spring type mechanism similar to the square jellyfish. However, the difference is that when you open and close this, you can actually lock it with this dovetail lock, which is kind of quintessential in a lot of the Manfrotto tripods. They've got this fantastic lever that locks it down. So that really ensures that whatever you're clamping in here, whether it's a Google Pixel or an iPhone, it's not going anywhere. And so I would say that my go-to is this one, the Manfrotto, even though it's slightly more expensive, but it's much more versatile. You'll see that not only can you mount it like this using that little screw head right there, but there's also a screw head on this side. So if you wanted to mount your phone like that, you could do that because it's got that screw head. Isn't that just incredible? Wow. So it opens up like so, and my phone fits absolutely perfectly in there. So these are my top 2 go-to miniature tripods for smartphones. If you are on the go and if you just want to throw something in your glove compartment, I would recommend the square jellyfish. It's not as stable as a Manfrotto, but again, it's much more lightweight. And if you have, let's say, some weight to spare and you don't mind a few extra ounces, I would go with the Manfrotto because this thing is stable. This will also hold my heavier camera, which is up to 5 or 6 pounds with all the glass and gear on that, mainly my Panasonic GH5, and this definitely holds that camera. This just exclusively iPhones or smartphones, for example. Okay, all right. So let's move on to this Viking pizza cutter, shall we? Oh, this is just amazing. Okay, so deep breath. This thing is powerful. I feel like Thor when he's picking up his hammer. Okay, don't worry, it's 100% safe. As a matter of fact, I was kind of disappointed how not sharp it is. This is a kitchen utensil, and it is a pizza cutter. And so initially I thought, oh, this is going to be razor sharp. It's not really razor sharp, and I think that's because it's designed to be cutting on, for example, a pizza stone. And if you know that you have a razor sharp edge that you just rub one time over a pizza stone, it will compromise the integrity of the blade. And so I would say that this is absolutely perfect for the Viking individual warrior in your life. Even if you're an urban warrior, look at the ergonomics of that. And so if I were to have a pizza right out in front of me, you just kind of roll right across like so. And this is so different from when I worked at Domino's a long time ago, where we actually had a larger blade like this, but you would kind of rock it back and forth. But this, it just has the wow factor, especially if you even choose to mount it in your kitchen. It's just a statement. It's the world's coolest kitchen knife. And as a matter of fact, I could probably put it back there with the rest of my kitchen utensils. This is just amazing. So it does come with a very nice leather case to keep it nice and safe from prying hands. It also comes with a very nice gift box. And the gift box itself is something straight out of a Japanese retailer. You know how the Japanese are famous for their packaging? It's just amazing. And so let's now move on to barbecue season, okay? So here in the Pacific Northwest, it is nice and sunny outside. And yesterday I put together my Cuisinart barbecue, and I noticed that I didn't have the ability to actually clean my barbecue. Now, I got this top-rated wire brush. I wasn't quite sure because when it comes to wire brushes, I heard at one point you don't use wire because some of these little wires can come off in your grill, and that's the last thing you want to be in your food. They're these little tiny barbs. And so we're going to do a little pull test for a moment. This is the live unboxing and unpackaging. So what you see is exactly what you get in the mail if in fact you were to buy this as well. Let's go ahead and scroll over. You'll see that this is the Grill Art Grill Brush, and I am experiencing the first impressions right along with you. So it's a little bit of a rush, isn't it? When you first pull out a new toy like this, And so let's go ahead and carefully open it up, because the last thing you want to do is get some of these barbs in your fingertips. I had it done before and it's very uncomfortable. So the big indicator as to whether or not there's any wires here is this has been shipped across the United States to me. Let's see if there are any barbs inside the actual packaging itself, because that's an indicator if in fact anything has fallen out. And nope, it is completely empty. Nope. Very nice. Okay, so that right there is a very safe indicator that this thing, these wires, wow, these wires are wow, that's why it's so highly rated. Check out this prong right here. See this fork? So you will see that there is a little indentation here and here. And so those indentations are designed to go right along the grill edge, the wires themselves. And so I've always had trouble using, let's say, a metal spatula, for example, rubbing that straight across the top of the grill, because you can't quite wrap around the wires. This, however, because this design is kind of like a dome, it allows you to go right across the grill wires. That's magnificent. Okay, so as far as the ergonomics goes, that is very nice. Now, I have had grease cooking on my barbecue for a good day outside, just seasoning my grill quite nicely. And so that is why I also got this Goo Gone right here, Grill and Grate Cleaner, made in the United States, which is awfully nice to actually have chemicals made here, because you never know what they're putting in some factories. But this is it's a citrus. Oh, that's nice. That's very refreshing. Very nice. And there's a reason why this is the #1 trusted brand, because, well, it's just Goo Gone is just the way to go. Once you go Goo Gone, you never go back. And so I would recommend actually investing in your barbecue. And if you're going to drop $200-300, maybe even $1,500 on your grill, it's worth a few extra bucks to put this in your cart and ensure that there's longevity of your barbecue. So that's what I did right here. Not only with this wire brush that is very versatile, not only can I scrape it this way and this way, but this will help cut through that old grease, because the last thing you want to do is bake that grease onto there and then you attempt to cook some fresh meat, and now you're getting all sorts of yuckiness and burnt meat on there from last week. You don't want to do that. So the Goo Gone is absolutely the way to go. Highly recommended. All right, now we are going to be moving on to, this is fun. This is really fun. So these cables right here, I'm actually going to go in reverse order. So these cables are going to be hooking up a sign, an on-air sign, which you can see right down below. And so previously, as I was doing my live broadcast right here, I had, don't laugh at me too hard, I had this sign. It says on air. And yes, I drew a little cartoon right down below, and I put this right outside my office so that my family would go up and say, hey, I'm going to ask Dad if he can, I don't know, mow the lawn or something. And then they would see this sign. Unfortunately, this sign is not up right now because I'm actually showing you this example. So to replace this rather sketchy looking on-air sign, which I still think is absolutely adorable, that's me right there, I opted to actually get something nice and glowy. Check this out. So this LED neon sign I got here on Amazon, obviously. You can see it linked in the description down below. Let's go ahead and do the unboxing. That's nice. That is very nice. Now, I actually did a lot of shopping around before I bought this thing. And that's because I wanted something that was smaller, because this is going to be going right above my doorway. There's a lot of on-air signs here on Amazon, and they're just big. And some people want them like this big, like almost like a street sign. I don't want that. This is plenty big for someone to walk up to my door and see that I'm actually on air. And so this is going to be going right above my doorway. There's only about 4 inches between the top of my door jamb and the ceiling. And so I had to be very intentional with buying this thing. And I noticed immediately that it did actually have the correct dimensions. So thank you, Amazon, for actually having dimensions on these products, because otherwise I would not be able to tell, and this would show up and it would just be, I would probably have to purchase 5 or 6 different signs before I realized, wow, this one is actually the way to go. So right now up close, it's not really good quality. You can tell they just kind of drummeled it out. It's plexiglass, but I don't really care what it looks like in the light. I want to know what it looks like in low light. So in order to achieve that, we're going to have to open up this USB extension cable, because right now the cable that it comes with, you'll see that it's about 6 feet in length. And that might work for some people, but for me, I want to snake this thing all the way out. What I have is I have a smart plug hooked up to my devices, my studio, all my lights and my microphone, computer, and everything. So when I come in and I say the awake word, office on, everything turns on, and it's kind of cool. And so that's what I want to happen with this sign right here. I'm going to plug it into the same power strip, and that singular power strip is plugged into a smart plug that is activated through Alexa. So let's go ahead and now open up our USB cable, which you can see in the description right down below. Now, why I specifically got this cable is threefold. First, it's white. That means it blends into my wall. I didn't want a big, long, black cable because, well, then it's going to stand out. Number two, it's flat. You'll see that it is very low profile. That means that I can actually snake this through the door jamb and not risk crushing the cable on the inside. And there is actually 2, so that's plenty. I'm probably just going to use one of these, although in a pinch I could plug them together like so. So let's go ahead and undo this thing. Oh, and I promised you threefold, didn't I? The first one, it's white. Second one, it is flat. The last reason is it's long. It's very long. So I wanted something that was USB 3.0. This is just 2.0. I didn't need 3.0 because I'm not actually carrying data over this. I'm just carrying power to actually light up my on-air sign. And you could use USB 1.0 for that if you wanted. There's no real data being smashed through this cable. All right, this is it, guys. This is the unboxing, and we're going to see if, in fact, this gets tangled. And it does not. That is long. That's amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this in, and let's see if my on-air sign actually works. This is the moment of truth. So first, we're going to plug in the male-female end right there. Now we're going to go over and find a USB port for this. All right, we are plugged in. Okay. And, all right, got our rocker switch ready. All right, okay, here we go. Are you ready for this? First impressions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. Oh, that is outstanding. Of course, I do have my bright studio lights right now, but if I were to kind of probably hold it at an angle like so, you can probably see the glowing quite a bit emitting from that. So when it is actually dark, pretty much all you can see is the letters themselves. That is phenomenal. Outstanding. How'd they do that where just the actual stuff is glowing? I don't know how they did that. You can see little wires going between each of the letters. It's really professional looking. That's amazing. So of course we do have 2 screw holes, 1, 2, which I'm going to be implementing right above the doorway. It does not actually come with screws, so you're gonna have to be sure you actually have some or add it to your cart. So that is just so neat. I'm gonna be putting that right above my doorway. And whenever I come into my office and I say the wake word on my smart plug and say office on, then this thing is just going to go boop and it's going to turn on. And immediately people are going to know that I am not to be trifled with because I am on air. That is so exciting. Isn't that so cool? Man, I love that. So love that. So what you're seeing right there is that on-air neon sign. And it is just the absolute perfect dimensions, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, a last fun little pickle that I got with these cables right over here, which you can see in the carousel down below. You can see that it came with a small little handful of these tacks, and these tacks are designed to be holding a cable up against your drywall. And so they are white, so they do blend in. And I actually had these in my cart until I stumbled across these cables and I realized that it comes with it. And if you're wondering why I call it a pickle, that's because it's just kind of included, quote, for free. Honestly, it probably costs like 9 cents to include this. But the philosophy, the business philosophy behind that is if ever you go to a sandwich shop and you buy a sandwich, they usually give you a large pickle. And you didn't order that. It wasn't on the menu, but it's baked into the price. But it's just one of those pleasant surprises that's for free. And so this concept of give someone a pickle is a business concept. And that is what these cable folks excelled at. Because I could have gone out, bought this cable, but I saw their listing and I realized they gave me this. Cost them only maybe 15, 20 cents to earn that sale. But that little 20 cents investment differentiated them from all the other cable listings. Is that not brilliant? So awesome. Well done, people. Well done for doing that. Now, we do have something rather silly, but I wanted to show you guys these MGC claw socks. I've been doing a lot of mobile online gaming lately, and these little guys have been absolutely phenomenal. My daughters Lucy and Penny have actually been wearing them as well. My wife has been wearing these. I know it's the strangest thing ever. I thought I do not need these little conductive socks on my fingertips in order to play mobile games. Why can't I just do it the old-fashioned way? And then I slipped these on and it was a total game changer. I had no idea how sweaty my fingertips actually got, and it kind of slowed down my gaming experience. But these little guys, the MGC claw socks, they slip over your fingertips or your thumbs, and it gives you the ability to just slide and glide effortlessly over your mobile phone. Isn't that brilliant? All right, lastly, what I'm going to do here, as promised, what differentiates me from other influencers out there, which, by the way, I see my followers are absolutely skyrocketing, and I appreciate that. But for me, what I like to do is serve you guys by actually showing you field demonstrations of some of these products. So they're not just me sitting in a studio space like this, holding something up and saying, well, this is really interesting, I guess it works. But no, I'm actually going to show you footage of something working. So you'll see down below, this is the Fisker's Weed Puller. This has been an absolutely life-changing garden appliance. It has been one of my top sellers ever since I made a video for this thing. Sales have just absolutely skyrocketed. So I would like to show you guys a real world demonstration of my daughters using this thing outside. And they're just little kids. So I think they're the best test, because if you're elderly, if you have a hard time, pulling weeds and dandelions out in the lawn, well, let's have a little kid see if they can use this exact weed puller. And if it succeeds for them, odds are it's going to succeed for everybody else as well. That's my philosophy. So let's hop right into this review, shall we? Here we go. And you'll see my daughter Penny right there. And this weed puller is interesting because as you push it into the weeds, it's got these teeth, and the teeth kind of sink around the root. And then the more you pull, not pull straight up, but pull down into the dirt, this leverage makes those teeth clamp around strong, very, very strong around that weed. And you'll see how much actually comes out. It's incredible. This thing has been single-handedly obliterating all of our yucky dandelions that have been killing our grass. And of course, as you can see, my daughter's right there, which, yes, they do have consent, Amazon Live moderators. They do have my consent to be on here. And you can see Lucy right there. It's easy enough for a kid to do weed pulling. That's absolutely amazing. And so this thing has been absolutely life-changing. And of course, it does have a little ejection port. So if you go over to the garbage or landscaping bin, you just push that and out it pops. It is that easy to weed. You no longer have to go down on your hands and knees and try to weed the weeds. You can just walk around and step, smash, lean. Be sure the more you push that lever down, the more it will grip that weed. That's very, very imperative. Don't try to pull straight out because the teeth will just slip out. In order to engage those teeth, you have to lean it back. That's very key. So the more you lean, the more the teeth grip, and the more the teeth grip, the more likely you're going to grab that weed root and pull it out. Amazing. So this right here, I've actually driven by a guy just down the street, and I saw him using one of these, and I wanted to scream out the window, I made a video for that. It's been selling like hotcakes. You're welcome. But I didn't. He was having a nice time, and that might have freaked him out a little bit. Excellent. Okay, so that pretty much concludes our live broadcast right there. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with you guys. And remember, I wanted to thank the Tactical Hair Clip folks over there for providing the 25% off promo code, which you can see. And I appreciate you guys tuning in this lovely day. We covered a lot of stuff in today's show. So also I want to thank all the followers out there. I have been having followers absolutely explode on this channel. I think I'm actually going to get to A-list fairly quickly at this rate. And it's all because of you guys. And so me, I'm just a humble everyday guy here in the Pacific Northwest. I find things that work. I just talk about them in hopes that it will help you as well. Don't ever want to pressure any kind of sales or anything here because I'm not into that. I don't even like the term influencer because that infers that I manipulate people's emotions in order for them to buy something they don't want. Hey, if you don't have a barbecue, don't buy this barbecue brush. Now, if you do, it works really well. And I will be honest with you and tell you that. Okay? All right. So that's it. I am signing off right here. I love you all. Remember, God has made you special and he loves you very much. Signing off live from Seattle, Washington, I'm Beau Chevessu.